Sometimes when I come on here and I speak to the camera and I just speak my thoughts, it's kind of like a journal to me at the same time. And quite a few thoughts run through my mind throughout the course of the day. And one of which, or actually at least a couple of them, is, you know, e- maybe you're just going to have to do the shit alone. Not only do you have to do it alone, but nobody's going to get or understand you at first. They probably never will understand you. And that's okay. I've come to accept personally that people are just going to misunderstand me. And for a lot of people, that becomes too much to bear because, again, we're human beings. We want to fit in. We want to be liked. We want to be loved. We want to feel as if we belong to something, to someone, something greater than ourselves, a cause, a belief that is greater than ourselves. But can we be honest? Can we be absolutely honest? Throughout my videos, I've spoken about how fear is one of the greatest indicators of things that are holding us back as human beings. It's holding us back from evolving into the thing that we are meant to become. And if you're not willing to go at it alone, if you're not willing to be misunderstood, if you're not willing to put yourself out there and be made an outcast and look like a fool, if you're not willing to kind of go into that self-imposed exile, I'm just going to be completely honest. How the fuck can you make something of yourself? Now, again, this is just me speaking my thoughts, but for me personally, I've had enough. I've had enough of pretty much how should I say this? I'm going through a current chapter or a chapter in my life right now to where I've just simply said, you know what? I'm closing the book on this. It's done. It's a done deal. I can't do it anymore. I'm out. And if I have to be a maverick, if I have to be somebody who goes his own way, does not give a fuck about what anyone else thinks, and even though sometimes I may be wrong, I am confidently wrong, knowing that the path will slowly but surely reveal itself to me. That's usually the way that I go. And I don't do these things to purposely be rebellious or maverick or anything like that. It's just who I am as a person. It's my nature. I'm not really big into groups. I've always been pretty much a solitary individual. And that, even though on the surface it seems like that is something that works to my detriment, I say it worked towards my greatest benefit because it far removed me from the possibility or the likelihood to fall into any type of groupthink. So I don't care about getting along just to get along. You know what I mean? I don't care about belonging. I am unapologetically individualistic in myself. I oftentimes call myself a solo artist, and there's a reason for that. I honestly think that there's far and few between, if not nobody else out there that just has the thoughts that I have, that thinks the way that I think. And this is why I say sometimes you got to go out this alone, because even though there's a chance that they may not be true, more often times than not, it's going to feel like you're really by yourself, and nobody is going to understand or get you. And I've reached a point in my life where I've reached a point of self-actualization and enlightenment where I just realized that's okay. I was initially under the impression of, listen, you don't have to understand me. Just accept me. Just accept that I am what I am. You don't even have to understand it. The most of the legwork, you don't even have to go out and go out of your way and do. Just accept that this is how I am. And most people can't even do that for whatever reason. And you may think, oh, okay, well then fuck you too. I'm not going to accept you too or whatever. No. I told you, I've evolved past all of this. I'm transitioning into a new phase of my life. I genuinely believe and I can feel that I'm transitioning to a new phase of my life. And it requires me to be held accountable to people who are greater than me, and ultimately, believe it or not, to be accountable to you guys. And maybe there will only be a few people that see this video, maybe not. Honestly, I don't really care if nobody sees it. These are just my authentic thoughts, and you might think, where is he going with this? I'm going to be completely honest with you. This is just a transition period and an evolution phase that I'm going through in my life. It's just me expressing my thoughts, and I'm okay with not just being misunderstood, but not even being accepted. I will willingly go into a self-imposed exile because I understand that it's kind of like, if you're a Dragon Ball Z fan and it's kind of like going into the hyperbolic time chamber. You're training in solitude and in the near harshest conditions and these variable circumstances, and you come out of it much stronger, much more refined, much sharper, just greater, just better. And I've already experienced this to a smaller degree when I took my 3 weeks off, and I've documented that as well. It's just, I don't understand, honestly. And when I say this, I don't say this out of arrogance. I don't say this out of haughtiness. I don't say this from a state or a place of, you know what, I'm better than you guys. I'm better than you guys. I say this because I genuinely do not understand how most people think and operate. I really don't. I don't care about belonging. I don't care about getting along and compromising my principles and my values just to get along. I don't care about your groupthink. I genuinely do not give a fuck. I am what I am, and I operate accordingly. Now, that doesn't mean that I may not have my own faults here and there. I'm very well aware of those and cognizant of those. It's just that I don't care about fitting into your mold. I genuinely do not care. And I'm very confident in how it is that I walk in my path. And I'm very confident that God's got my back. And I'm very confident that, listen, I don't care how many times I get knocked down. I don't care how many times I fail. I don't care how many times I have to get back up. Eventually, you're not going to be able to knock me down anymore. And I've been humbled, and I don't know the word to use, but I guess the way of saying this is I've been humbled and laid bare, so to speak, figuratively speaking, so many times to the point to where not only can I confidently move in how it is that I move, but the fear is just completely evaporates. It's gone. I remember when I was concerned about posting content online, concerned about what people might think of me if I'm walking in the streets and I'm recording myself speaking to a camera. Concerned about whether people are going to say something or give me strange looks or judge me, and I don't care. I'm in a transition period. And what I'm transitioning to is far beyond what it is that I am now. And I understand and I realize, and I'm just going to say this in closing because I don't want to, prattle on for too long. It's just, when are you guys going to wake the fuck up? When are you guys going to wake the fuck up and realize that at the end of the day, it's all on you? You are your greatest asset. You are your greatest enemy. Nobody's coming to save you. You are your own superhero. I'm done. I don't know about y'all, but I'm done with this average, mediocre standard of living, so to speak. I'm done. I'm done. I don't care about playing the same games as most people are playing. I'm playing a completely different game. I don't give a fuck if you like me or not. I don't care if you look at me any certain type of way. As a matter of fact, I have not cared for so long at this point that sometimes me talking my shit online is just natural. And again, I am the same person online as I am in real life. And if you know, then you know. But I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm done. I'm not playing this stupid fucking game anymore. It's about time I actually make my proclamation and officially separate myself. A lot of you need to do the same thing. But out of fear and familiarity, you just hold on. And I'm telling you to let go. It no longer serves you. Whatever it is that you're holding on to, you know what it is that you're holding on to. It no longer serves you. Stop holding on and just let it go. Just let it go. Any fear, any self-concern, the need to belong, all that shit. Just let that shit go. Just let it go. Because they're not going to understand. They didn't understand you the first time. They still don't understand you now. And that's okay. We don't express any hatred towards them. We understand that we are cut from a different cloth. It's okay. It's okay. You're just going to have to accept the fact that once you walk this path, once you actually decide and make a proclamation and actually speak into existence the need to stand out, not for any type of ego or self-aggrandizing reasonings, but just for your own sake and for your own sanity. Because you know that's not how you're made. You know that you're not built this way. You know you're not built to be average or ordinary or normal or to do things how like most people or the masses do it. You're just not built that way. When are you going to let that shit go? When are you going to You've been played your entire life. You've been led to believe that this is how things should be done. You are led to believe that this is how certain things, like, for example, you've been led to believe that certain things were operate a certain way. And I know I said I was going to close, but let me cook for a second. You've been led to believe that money is to be spent this way and getting into debt is normal, for example, when it's the modern day slavery. You've been led to believe that relationships and how we approach relationships in today's day and age is normal, even though I personally believe we should not even be dating. We've lost the art of courting, and marriage doesn't really mean hardly much of anything anymore because most people are getting a divorce who are married, and that's fact. That's a statistical fact. Look it up. It's north of 50%. So you're telling me that the vows that you made to God doesn't mean anything anymore. Okay, cool. So there's that. And then when you try to press people on how it is that they should move, and you're like, you know what? Even if you pose the question, what if what we've been led and programmed to believe and taught all our lives how certain things go, what if it was wrong? I'm going to tell you from experience, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get a lot of pushback. You're going to get a lot of shit coming your way. They just don't believe it. They don't believe it. They can't believe it. And they won't even open themselves to the possibilities because, again, they've been programmed to believe this shit. Morpheus was right. If you've seen The Matrix, then you know Morpheus was right. Most people are not ready to be unplugged. The ones that are have asked the right questions. They remain curious. And this is reflective of anything and anyone in life who has achieved any degree of greatness. They just dedicated themselves and they questioned almost everything. And I don't know how much longer y'all are willing to play this stupid game. Because I'm not doing it. I'm not doing this shit anymore. I'm playing a completely different game. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm already woken. I've already woke the fuck up. This isn't some woke culture type shit. This is just, I've literally opened my eyes and I realized that 99% of the world is going to be against me. And I'm okay with that. I'm actually more than okay with that. It's a confirmation that I'm actually doing something right. And I'm going to stay strong and stand on what it is that I know. That's it. Most of you are going about life the wrong way. And I know what you might be thinking. Who are you to tell us this and that and this? And guess what? That reaction is normal. But the fact that you won't even ask the question is very concerning. It's very concerning. You just let the programs and the applications run in your mind and you have no sense of control. You just let this shit fly. And this is how it needs to be. Because this is what I was led to believe it should be. Because I was taught that this was supposed to be, that this was normal. Getting into debt is not normal. Being broke should not be normal. Poverty is demonic. I don't know if anyone has ever told you, but poverty is truly demonic. It brings the worst out of the human spirit. Dating, in my opinion, is not normal. It shouldn't be normalized. We've normalized it because we've been taught wrong. I don't think that shit's normal either. It's just the whole boyfriend-girlfriend thing is fucking silly to me, for example. And I'm just, and this is how I'm proving to you that I really don't give a fuck. This whole idea, for example, that we approach dating is completely wrong because this whole boyfriend-girlfriend thing is fucking stupid because y'all are just pretending to be married. You're just doing married people shit without any type of investment into it. No oath or vows before God. There's no legal paperwork behind what it is that you're doing. You're not approaching it from a business perspective. You're approaching things from purely an emotional perspective. And then these guys have the nerve or the tenacity to get angry because they got played. Well, no shit. You led with your emotions. You didn't operate it from a business perspective. That's what marriage is. It's a business relationship. It's not a love relationship. Love comes naturally with it, but it's a business relationship. These are all the people who've done marriage completely right and who are thriving in it. That's what they all fucking tell me. You know why? You know why they tell me these things? And you know how I can express these things to you guys? Because I'm curious. I ask questions. I approach things with an open mind. And most of y'all just have that shit closed off. I am tired and I had enough. I'm not going to do things how most people do things anymore. I was not built that way. From the very beginning, I was not built that way. And whenever I tried, I suffered as a result of it because it was not me. Now I'm just going to end it right. I'm literally going to end it right here. Listen, I don't know who you are. I don't know where you're from. I don't even know what your circumstances, and I don't care. If you know that you're supposed to separate yourself from the pack, you just got to let that shit go. The conventions, the fears, the self-concerns, the anxieties, the doubt, you just need to dive into it, jump off that cliff, and just let that shit go. Because it doesn't serve you. And it has not served me. And you're going to be misunderstood. And you're going to be disliked. You may even be hated for it. And that's okay. But we're not going to return that energy to them because they don't know what they do and they don't understand what it is that they're doing. They just don't. And that's okay. That's okay. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Till then, y'all need to stay up and y'all just need to wake up and be aware. It's just me talking. Don't mind me. Deuces.